Ooh, I've been working out, y'all. So that's why I sat down like a grandma.
Welcome to Shay's Bouquets, where I teach you to create balloon garlands like a pro.
Hey y'all, it's Tanisha, and I'm here with my fourth video, and we're gonna be talking about doing a circle stand and backdrop. I'm super excited about this video because on a business side, one of these, when you rent them, can be minimum $300, $500, $700. They can be up there in price. So I think this is going to be a cool video for you to know that you can purchase this stand, you can purchase a backdrop, and you can begin creating looks that would cost you $300 to $1,000 that you can do for probably less than $150. So I'm not gonna lie, I've been doing balloons for 3 years and I've done so many different types of creations. But if you want a simple way to make 300, 500 bucks on the business side, get you one of these stands, invest in some backdrops, learn how to do the balloons we're gonna do today, and you can market yourself over and over. A lot of times people do these stands as backdrops for pictures, as well as behind their cake stands and their stands where they keep their sweets and stuff. So, all of this is linked on my Amazon storefront. So the stand will be linked, the backdrop will be linked. I would think that this stand costs maybe $50 to $70. This backdrop, I don't know, I would guess maybe like $30, and then you buy your balloons. So once again, you can create a look that would otherwise cost you $300 to $700 for less than $150, and it's just such a good investment to have this backdrop stand. All right, let's do it. The first thing we need to do, as always, is get our balloons. All right, so first we're gonna get into the main ingredient, the balloons. These balloons are for my mom's 59th birthday, and so she chose the backdrop, she chose the balloons, so let's dive in. We're using multiple kits. They will be linked in my Amazon storefront. That will be down below. I'm gonna say Amazon is your go-to when it comes to balloons because it offers kits with multiple size balloons, and that is one of the key factors in having a professional looking garland is multiple size balloons. So Amazon is your one-stop shop for kits and balloons, especially when you get started, okay? If you wanna learn more about your supplies and proper techniques, download my free ebook, Fast Track to Balloon Garland Mastery. It's gonna also be linked down here. It's gonna tell you all the supplies that I use, and it's gonna tell you the techniques I use, and it just simplifies the process for someone who's like, hey, I just got started, where do I begin? So I'm gonna begin to get my 12-inch balloons for all my colors because we're ready to blow up our balloons. That means we're pushing our 5 inches to the side, and because we have limited 18 inches, we're pushing those to the side as well. So it's looking like we got rose gold, gold, and then this cream color. Now that we've sorted out our balloons, we're ready to begin the base. Now we need our main supplies, which is our balloon pump. Of course, it's linked on my Amazon storefront. Let's begin. Ooh, I've been working out, y'all. So that's why I sat down like a grandma. Child, we're not only trying to grow the business, we're trying to grow the buns, okay? I'm gonna show y'all how to blow these balloons up one time, because I don't know if this is your first time seeing my video, but after that, it's gonna be a time lapse. We rocking and we rolling, okay? All right, let's do it. 2 balloons. Blow them up. Pro tip, I'll never just tie these balloons together without doing what, class? If you said pushing some air out, give yourself a gold star. Push some of the air out. Doesn't matter that these are 2 different sizes. No, this is an organic garland. They don't have to be perfect and identical. You'll never see me blow up balloons and tie them together without first pushing air out. Now I got it like this. Cross it over like this. Hold it like this, pull the next. Go under, or release one of your elbows. tie it, and then what class? Double knot it. You'll never see me do balloons without double knotting it. And push them to the side. All right, y'all, we got our balloons blown up. Now we're ready to create our base. Once again, we're doing the color block method, so we're keeping all of our colors together. I'm gonna pick up 2 and create a quad. That's when you take 2 and 2, put them together to make 4. Then I'm gonna grab another 2 so that I can put it together with the quad to make a cluster of 6. And then we push it to the side. All right, we have our balloons blown up. We have them in clusters of 6. And now we're ready to begin building our balloon garland base. The next supplies we're going to need is curling ribbon or 2 60s. I have videos where I've used curling ribbon. I have videos where I use 2 60s. You can use either or. I would prefer to use white curling ribbon if I have, or clear 260 balloons. Let's get started. Let me tie this around my cluster and double knot it. Then I put it on the floor and I'm ready to begin building my garland. I just pick up another cluster, I put it on top anywhere. I bring my curling ribbon up and I pull on it so it's nice and tight. I pull it over one side and then onto another side. This was my previous cluster. I'm looping the curling ribbon under the last and then back over. And I want this curling ribbon to be in the middle where all the necks come and meet together. Pushing down on the balloons while simultaneously pulling up on the curling ribbon to make sure that there are no gaps, no gaps. So now I'm ready to do it again. Adding it on top, pulling it through and meeting it in the middle one way, going the opposite way, hooking it to the previous cluster, pulling it back up, and you see like right here, this would be a gap. However, I'm going to pull it back up here, meet it back in the middle, and pull up, push down. Boom. No gaps. See how there's no big gaps. All right, now I'm moving on to my cream color. The biggest thing in creating the garland phase is the pulling up on the string while pushing down so that there's no gaps. All right, and you just keep adding. Remember, if you've seen in my previous videos, I always talk about after it's got a little tail on it, it's so much easier to kind of just hold it on my leg, add it. Doesn't matter where I put it on top, bring my string, have it meet in the middle where the necks are. Because I started over here, I'm going to the other side. I'm hooking it on one of the balloons that's from the previous garland, let's see, right here. Oh, goodness. Hey, that's never happened before, but hey, that's awesome. Balloons pop, and now there's a gap. And you'll think, oh my God, there's a gap. That's okay. You're always gonna have 1 or 2 gaps in your garland because balloons will pop. If they don't pop like that, they'll pop maybe when you're transitioning them in the car. You know, 1 or 2 balloons will pop. And that's why we have our supporting balloons that come through and cover gaps. So you see how this string is right here? If you ever see that, you need to push it so that it's in the middle where the necks are. Because if not, that will also create a gap. All right. I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up and pushing down. All right, keep it going. I know in this part, sometimes it's gonna feel like it's looking crazy. No, if you're doing this technique to where you're pulling up and pushing down, when it's time to install, you'll see my garland's fine. My base is fine. You just want that string to keep meeting in the middle. All right. Now, one thing I forgot to do was count how many clusters I had so that I can give you specifics on this look, but I'll count them later, or I'll see if I can count them later. And last 2, I'm only using 2 for the gold. If I need to add more, I will. All right, y'all, we've officially created our balloon garland base. A lot of the times it'll look crazy. You'll think, oh my God, is this right? I promise you, it's all fine. Now we have some gaps. We try to avoid gaps, but there will always be gaps. So for example, you see how you see the curling ribbon right there? That's a gap. That's why we need our supporting balloons. So we're ready for installation. I'm gonna be using 260 balloons, clear 260 balloons, items that I use a lot when I'm doing balloons, and I use them for time. A lot of people ask me, what are 260 balloons? The major reason I use them is for time, when you're installing, as well as you can use them to add clusters to your garland. So I got a handful of clear 260 balloons. These are also in my Amazon storefront. So let's begin our install. I'm going to want to tie the balloons here, here, probably somewhere right here, and then probably somewhere up here. So I would say I usually tend to do 3 to 4 points. What I'm hoping to do is that the balloons cover here. So they're gonna cover these 2, and then they'll go up and probably stop here, and then this will just be open. So I'll put this like this. I'm gonna take my 260 balloon. I love that it's so flexible. I'm gonna put it around this end balloon, and then I'm going to wrap it around right here. Oh, y'all, I've been working. Of course, remember I double knot it. Boom. Next 260 will be tied right here. So I lay it, stage it, find another balloon. I'm gonna go with this one. Wrap my 260 around and then around the backdrop. Ooh. Now I'm going to be adding clamps so that I have something to tie my 260s around. So I'm going to add a clamp on the side, and then I'm going to add a clamp at the top. And as you can see, you can manipulate these balloons around to create whatever shape you want. So now I see this probably is the balloon that's closest to where the clamp is. So I love that these fill so that you can really see. I'm tying the 260 around this balloon, getting it in the middle where those necks are, and then I'm tying it to the clamp. And of course, always remember, double knot. There. I'm gonna make another cluster of gold because I want probably just one extra. All right, because I'm adding this cluster on at the last minute, even though I built the garland with curling ribbon, the easiest way to add a quick cluster on is using the 260 because they just stretch and they just tie so easily. So I'll just put this, excuse me, what I'll do first is take the 260, wrap it around one of the last balloons, and then I have two, then I just wrap it around, and then double knot, and then I just make sure that it just got where the necks are. All right, cool. Cool. Now, before it was ending right here, but now it's ending a little past, so I just needed that last. I think in total we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 clusters. Okay. So I see that the closest one towards the clip is this balloon. Once again, using my 260 to wrap it around, and then adding it to the clip. All right, y'all, so we have our base. So now we're gonna get our 18-inch balloons and our 5-inch balloons, which I call my supporting balloons, my small balloons and my bigger balloons. Because remember, we created our base with 11-inch balloons. So we're gonna get our table of balloons out again, and we're gonna blow up our supporting balloons. Usually when it's supporting balloon time, I use my manual balloon pump for my 5 inches, and then I use my electric balloon pump for my 18 inches. Let's do it. All right, let me show you some 5-inch variations. I have 3. I do sets of 3, 4, or 6. Let me show you each one. Once again, I never pump balloons without pushing out a little air. I never And then I also always double knot. 1, 2, 3. All right. Here's 3. Next variation is 4. 2. And another 2. All right, so a quad. Notice I have the necks next to the back. I pull them, and then if you could see, there's necks all right here. I pull them all so that they're all together in the back. So here's a variation of 4. And then now I'm going to do the variation of 6. All right, now we're going to be making 6 like we did with our big balloons. Boom. I tend to use the 6 when there's big gaps. Now that we made our 5-inch variations, I have all my 18-inch balloons. It looks like I have 2 of each color, so I'm gonna blow these up as well. I do blow these up one at a time because you're not tying them together. Pour some air out, and then okay, we have our supporting balloons, so now I'm going to show you what it looks like to install them. There's 2 different ways, using glue dots, which is the primary way that I do, and then a lot of balloon artists do the 260 way. I do think this is the more popular way. However, the whole goal is to show you multiple ways to get the same results, okay? All right, the glue dot way. A lot of times when you're buying these Amazon kits, they're gonna come with a sheet of glue dots. So here's some of these, and then, so here's my glue dots, here's my 260s. Let's do it the glue dot way first.
So right here, I took the garland off because my mom wanted the rose gold at the top. So I just took it off and then did the 260s over again to switch it. Y'all, me and my mama really got into an argument about that because sometimes she'd be like, oh, I like it like this, but you don't got to change it. Girl, these your balloons. I'm going to change it for you. Now, I'm not sure how when I flipped it, I had less garland, so I had to add a little bit at the end.
I'm going to start by just adding this 18-inch balloon here. Or maybe I want to add it here. Maybe I want to add it at the top. I'm going to add it here. So for this one, I'm going to use glue dots. I tend to use 2 glue dots at a time. What I do is I do what's called staging. I put the balloon where I want it to be, and then so I can know exactly where those dots go. And then I just stick it right back on there. And then I like to have dots at multiple locations. So I put a dot on this balloon, I'm gonna put it so it hits right here too. All right, now I'm adding a set of 4 right on top of it.
Here I'm just adding more supporting balloons with my glue dots, but I want to say scratch that. Use 260 balloons. Don't use glue dots because your balloons will fall off after a day with glue dots. So 260 balloons is longer lasting, and I'm about to show you how to do that.
All right, let me show you the 260 way. You're gonna tie a 260 on one end. You're gonna tie another set together on the other end. And so then it's gonna look like this. And then, like for example, I see some right here. So I'm going to tie it around. And then boom.
If you ever notice I step back, that's so I can continue to see where there's more gaps and where I need to add more supporting balloons. So once again, I continue to add with glue dots. However, don't do that. Use 260s because if these are balloons that you're going to keep for longer than a day, the 260s will last way longer. The glue dots, your supporting balloons will be falling off and that'll be annoying.
All right, so I'm back. Now, I'll be honest, I don't absolutely love this. I like this part, but I don't like this right here. And then I'm not liking this right here. So I'm stopping for the day and I'm going to come back and show you how I fix this because that happens. Sometimes you'll add your supporting balloons and you'll say, I don't like this, I don't like that. So I'm gonna show you how I tweak it, but I'm stopping right now for today. So you'll see me again.
All right, y'all, this is the end result. Sorry, I did not film it. As you can see, I tweaked the bottom and I had to tweak the side. I didn't absolutely love, but then my mom did the 59 mini columns and then it just set it off. And what I love is like sometimes you won't absolutely love balloons, but keep tweaking it until you do.